everybody. It is Tuesday, October 3rd. Are you looking for what you think is the best owner operator fuel card? We've got an opinion on that. We're going to dive into that here in just a few minutes. So stay tuned. Check us out. If you're new, comment below. Let us know that you're new if you're watching this on the replay. We'll see you in just a second. Look, it's Jeff and Charley, everybody. We're here. We're on the wrong sides, and I fixed that because Jeff was messing with the stuff, and now he's looking at his phone or he's doing something. He's typing. Let's watch him as he functions in his natural state. See, he's got no sound. He broke it. He broke everything. We were here. He broke it. He'll be back. So yeah, what are you guys doing? Glad you're all here. I know we see some new faces in here. Jeff's gonna mess with his sound and try and get some stuff going, just so we get it out of the way. Yep, Craig Hutchinson. Craig Hutchinson was first today, and Jeff has broken his sound and he can't hear anything, and he's broken. And we could say some things about him and be like, "Why didn't you hear what we were saying, bro?" And he'll be like, "Oh, I don't know." So it could be fun. Hey, you know what? As per a request of Blackbeard, the phones are open. I will ask that you hang off on the phones for right now. I will put the number up and we will dip into that. But let's see who else we got poking in the chat. Nick Earl was all up in here. What's up? What's up? James Vaughn, Blackbeard. I saw Blackbeard there. Let's see who else we got. Oh, hi Lisa. Timothy Ransom say he's stuck at the Columbus Terminal, no loads. That sucks. That's never fun. Trucker Dan. Hey, Trucker Dan. Hey, Trucker Dan. What's up, buddy? Oh, here's a new face. Okay, if I screw this up, please correct me. Maybe you could call and tell me I'm wrong or right. Letif? Letif. I'm gonna go with Letif. If that's wrong, fix me. I don't know. I'm broken, man. I can't read. Whatever. I drive a truck. I don't know what people expect of me. Let's see. Life on 18 Wheels. What's going on, dude? Jonah Green, good to see you. Oh, Lord. Oh, I didn't need to send a macro 22. We were on time. I don't even know what you're talking about. We were early. What's up? Just saying. So yeah, we've got some stuff planned for today. We have a guest coming on. We're going to talk about fuel card stuff. But what's going on with you guys? What's shaking? I know Timothy's out there stuck in Columbus right now. What about the rest of you guys? How's your week going? Good to see you, Matt. John, what's going on? That is it weird that I like the rhyme? John, what's going on? I could write a song about that. So there was this dude named John, and we wonder what was going on with the John going on. That's a terrible song. I shouldn't sing. I should never sing in public. Do you have sound yet? Oh, you do have sound. Oh, of course. Now that I'm singing, you've got sound. Whatever, Jeff. Whatever.
Hey, you're not the only one that's regretting this little 2-second blurb.
Now that you can hear, right?
Yeah.
You're like, dang it. Jonah Green trying to survive. Ain't we all, brother? That's what we got to do. That's the name of the game right now in this kind of a market. I mean, everybody out there, I don't care if you're running your own numbers, whatever, you're contracted to a big carrier, small carrier, everybody's struggling right now, I think. I mean, yeah, you got the outliers that, the guys are, I'm still doing $7 a mile, whatever. That's not the norm. Let's be real.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, there's those people. Great for them. They're not the masses. Let's see.
However, if you find one of those guys, I would definitely talk to them and see if you can't find out what they're doing.
Right?
You never know.
Wrong there.
They might tell you, "Yeah, man, we need 2 more trucks."
Right?
Come on over.
That's a deal right there, maybe.
I only work 2 days a week and I make $20,000 a month.
But if they say something like, "Yeah, I've only been doing it 3 weeks," maybe not the best choice. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, we know of certain opportunities out there, but they're short, like a couple of weeks at a time. And then what are you going to do the rest of the time, right?
Right. Dan's on his way to Michigan from Texas. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. Thank you for all your work on the video. I haven't watched the final product. I'm a terrible person. I just haven't. I honestly just didn't even. I couldn't even get. I was doing a bunch of other stuff today, so please forgive me. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
the interview with Adam and Jim is up on the YouTubes. You guys can go check that out after the show.
Yeah. That would be cool. Hey, any of you guys who are new, like I said at the beginning, if you're new and you're watching this on the replay, go down there and drop a comment in the comments for us. Let us know that you're new here, or hell, just let us know that you're watching us on the replay. It's nice to see and engage with people from the replays, and we will try and answer and respond to just about every comment we get. So we do appreciate you guys. So like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, check it out. Write comments. You got questions? Drop them below. We'll get back to you. We don't have an answer right away. Comments are probably the easiest way to get answers, because to be real, it allows us time to get a legitimate answer, formulate a proper answer, and bam, get it to you, especially if we don't actually have the real info in our head already. There's a lot in here that's kind of broken. It's a lot. There's a lot broken in here. And sometimes, and our buddy just popped in down there and he sees me pointing in my head like this, like I'm a nutcase. And it's true.
Yeah, but he knows you are.
Yeah. That's fair. Oh Lord. I'm not putting that up, Jonah. I'm just saying it's funny, but I'm not putting that on the screen. Not gonna do it. Oh, thanks, Donna. She said you're welcome. Hey, I get it. You're all super busy. Look, we've been trying. I actually got some stuff done today that you would be proud of me on. We could talk about that later. Probably not air stuff.
He actually wrote stuff down. I was impressed.
I have several pages of notes from work that I did today. It's pretty trippy. So yeah.
Some of it had to do with search engine optimization. Jeff Reese, we're talking about you. We'll be talking about that with you,
Jeff
later.
Reese. Yeah, we need to have a conversation, because I did a search today for something, and oh Lord, I'm gonna tell you, I was let down. So we're gonna kick you in the keister. I see how good I am with finding good words. Some days I can do it, Jeff Reese, and we don't need to have the I'm just saying. Victor, what's up, brother? Sorry, I get all excited when people
see, Don is even giving you the thumbs up there.
Right? Look at that. I know, right? I look. I'm gonna take that from Donna right there. I'm digging it. I'm trying to do some things. I'm a little more clear now that I'm off a lot of these meds that I was on. Look, that could all change tomorrow. I got an appointment tomorrow. They're talking about the 4K experience into my backside. I'm just saying, those that know what I'm talking about. So I got to go talk to the director and producer and the screenwriters and all that for that production tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get that rolled out here pretty quick in a full IMAX experience for everybody to enjoy the insides from the back forward. I'm just saying, because maybe people will enjoy that. Maybe
those aren't our viewers, Charlie.
Well, maybe, hey man, maybe they need a fuel maybe they need truck insurance too, and then we capture them that way.
Hey, fuel card we can absolutely do.
All right,
fuel card we can absolutely do.
So speaking of fuel cards and things like that. Oh, look at James on. Hey, Donna, did you like my pics on Facebook? He's starting to that sounds a little creepy, James. I don't even know where you're going with that. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm thinking that is inappropriate.
Canning.
Absolutely. Canning. They're everywhere.
Canning.
Oh, that's fair. Oh,
Lisa's calling you out. Fuel card, Charlie. Fuel card.
Right. Let's do this. Let's have a little discussion about something. Oh, BRB. Sorry. Squirrel got me. Let's do this real quick. So this week and I didn't pull that screen up. Let me pull that screen up real quick and let's talk about that, because that's what we like to do at the start of each show, right? Let me share that screen. And let's throw it up here. Let's talk about the week. So this week we are looking at an increase in the national fuel average of 0.007 for the week. The West Coast Pad 5 went up. Look at that. 0.007. They both went up identical this week.
Weird.
So you guys out there on your own numbers and negotiating different things on your own and not on a fixed contract rate or something like that. You guys hopefully are watching this stuff. You're checking the EIA website and things like that and being able to plan and negotiate accordingly. That would be helpful for you, I'm sure. If you're not, maybe you should think about it. You want any advice or help on that? We're here. We will absolutely talk about that stuff. How to estimate maybe the upcoming week.
Mm-hmm.
How do we go about that? Because we kind of plan our week out. I know Jeff and I we're like, okay, do we think it's going up or down this week so we can try and figure out what the settlement will be by the end of the week, what we need to do, things like that. That's that a fair
Yep.
comment?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that we don't have a crystal ball, so we end up using last week as kind of
Right, an indicator.
an indicator.
And
And
usually
then
it's pretty close.
we look at the last couple of weeks to see if it's been going up or down. The further out you go, it's kind of tough right now, though. Like if you're into like technical analysis and all that neat stuff, which is fun, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it too. But right now, there is no real trend. Like if you were to
Right.
look at that historical over the last 5 years, it's not going to help you right now. Things are just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have one of our members that tells us what the discount market's going to be doing in the next 24 hours. And one day it'll be going up, next day it'll be going down, and then it'll go down again,
Right.
and then up twice, and it's all over the place right now.
But if you're not using the EIA website to check fuel prices and things like that to get national averages or even, regional averages like the New England Pad 1A, Central Atlantic, things like that, if you're running in those areas, you want to know what the fuel's doing over there, like oh yeah, Pad A, they stayed flat this week.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Or Pad
and
1A.
I think we mentioned this when we first started getting kind of beyond the Swift fuel surcharge, Charlie.
Right.
Part of what started this whole line of us doing this was I was having a discussion with this guy where a broker had actually told him, well, diesel fuel's never been above $4.10.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, do you know about the EIA website? And I was telling them about it. I'm like, pull that up and show them. No, fuel is at that week, it was like 456 national average.
Right.
Like, obviously the broker was trying to pull one over on him, but don't take that. When these brokers do that, say no. According to the U.S. government, it's this, dude. So let's talk rates.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, Charlie, I think talking to people, there's enough people that don't know this stuff that it might be kind of those brokers might be like, yeah, next.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the way I look at it is that's a broker you probably don't want to do business with anyway.
Right.
You're out there, there's more than one brokerage house out there. Find the one that you're going to be able to build a relationship with and work with. And it's going to be within business ethics, honest with you. I mean, we're all trying to make a profit, and there is that dynamic to business.
Right.
They're not going to tell you what their cut is, and they shouldn't be asking you what your costs are.
Right.
That's proprietary information. You know what it costs to run your truck. Negotiate appropriately, and it's no different than like car sales or anything else.
Right.
If the guy's not willing to budge, the guy's not willing to budge, and if you're not willing to budge, I guess it's no deal, right?
Right.
And next,
And sometimes you got to do that. It's just not a deal. So you're not willing to move. They're not willing to move. That's business.
and that's where the relationship comes in, right, Charlie? Like, do you trust this guy? If this guy's like just being hard, like, no, dude, I got no wiggle room here. If you've been working with that dude for years and you trust him, maybe you say, well, gosh, this sucks, but I got to get out of here to a better rate zone. You got to factor all that in when you're doing this, guys. All right, so Swift guys know what their fuel surcharge is this week.
Yeah, it's scrolling
Swift
across the bottom there for you.
Swift actually beat us to the punch by a couple hours today. I always find that entertaining.
Yeah. It used to be like you never knew what day it was coming out on. It was always great. And then we started busting their chops over it, and they're like, oh man. So let me see. I'm gonna go through this real quick. I disagree with you. How about America sucks as a topic? I could argue that all day long. I don't think America sucks. I don't. I think there's a lot of crappy things out there in our world, and I don't think it's just America, but whatever. I think it's the whole damn planet. We're
Okay.
all America. Look, you can't get me to say America sucks. I don't like politics. I don't like politicians per se, but I love my country. Just saying. I don't know how else to address that. Let's see. Uh oh, Let said something about I guess a cop killed a trucker in Oklahoma. I have been really busy this week, so I haven't been real up
Yeah,
on some news.
I
So
haven't been
I'll
up
have to
with it.
dip back into that. Maybe we could dip into it later and see what we can find. But you know what we are going to do? We're going to have a discussion with our buddy Jeff Reese, and we're going to talk about what Jeff and I believe is, well, let me preface it. The best fuel card for an owner operator, right? Because the question is, what is the best fuel card or owner operator fuel card? What is the best owner operator fuel card? And the question is whichever card gives you the best discount at the time you need fuel, right? Jeff and I have found an answer to that more times than not, that it's a single card for us most times, more times than not.
In
And we're
the
going to get into
lanes,
that.
especially in the lanes that I run.
Right. But we're going to get into that, but right after this.
Now, here's a question that all owner operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractor's Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Reese here in the studio with us. Jeff Reese, how are you, brother?
Hey.
Oh, I had to throw the cheesy flag. Come on, man.
I was like, what was that? I hadn't had any kind of applause in forever.
You know, I will talk to your wife about that, Jeff, because every wife should applaud you every day. Never happens in my house either. Don't worry.
It's like it's that awkward one where one person's just
right. That's know what? Here's the problem.
Down.
That's usually me. I'm usually that guy. I'm like, hey, yeah.
No, nobody.
Oh,
no, okay.
Crap. Whatever. Yeah. What's going on, man?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Just a whole lot of everything.
Right. It's
right.
Nothing and everything.
Yep. Everything everywhere all at once.
That pretty much sums up life, the industry. I mean, just everything in a single little sentence there. I dig it, man.
There it is.
So what's going on with ES, man? I know we got a new card thing we need to sign up for because there's some changes happening, and I don't know, is there some app updates or what's going? We brought you here because you know what, Jeff and I, we believe that more times than not, we can't say 100%, even you guys say that, but more times than not, the price we get through the ES Advantage fuel card is the best price we can find.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that's not to say that other options aren't out there. And we tell people all the time, look, man, you need tools in your toolbox. So, if you can use, Joe Snuffy's fuel card and it saves you in the Northeast, or you use this or that, or this or that, man, great. Use the tools in your toolbox to maximize your profitability, right?
Exactly. And we don't want you to use our program if it doesn't make the absolute best sense for your business. However, more often than not, it's going to be the best thing for you. So, um, but yeah, so we have really been doing some analytics, looking at things, and I know y'all have been with us for quite a while, and um, you know the card itself, the platform itself has kind of changed and evolved,
Right.
and in response to just the community, the fraud environment, just
Right.
all that fun stuff. So
Card
you know,
skimmers. God,
card
those people have a
skimmers
special
and
place somewhere.
credit card fraud and all that. So we've really been looking at the different platforms that are out there, and we've decided that the absolute best thing that we can do is transition over to the fleet account, which, so whether you've got one truck or you got 20 trucks, everybody will end up being on a fleet account
Okay.
eventually. So, and the reason why, there's a lot of reasons why, actually. First of all, it's way more secure. So it's got dynamic pin capabilities. There's more control over what
Nice.
what I mean. Every person can have their own way of setting their card up and set purchase limits, things of that nature. The reporting is a lot more in detail, and it's an easier it's just easier to use from that perspective. So,
Nice.
and then we've got some other things rolling out on that platform that I'm not able to talk about yet.
Oh, you
So,
dirty man, you.
but
This is
it'll
why you
be,
don't get applause all the time, sir.
yeah, that's right. I
I'm just
always leave
kidding.
those little
All right.
teasers out there, but
The
we've got some
dingle.
other things that's gonna make it even better. I'm calling it bigger, better, faster.
Nice.
The other thing is that we really started to discover is the people that were using this platform. Um, if they were using just the smartphone card, they're realizing all this savings, and they were doing the right thing, and they're reinvesting that savings back into their business, and then they were
Right.
coming back to us saying, "Hey, I want to add another truck. I'm going to add 2 trucks,"
Right.
and then we're like, "Well, great. Now we have to go through the entire process of setting you up with a fleet account." So
Right.
by going ahead and getting one just one card on the account,
Right.
um well, and then as you invest those savings back into your business and expand your business and are ready to grow, it's not you're not having to call us. Actually, all you got to do is send a little email saying, "Hey, send me 3 more fuel cards." You assign those fuel cards to your other drivers, set up their limits that you want them to have, and then you're off to the races.
Right.
So it just speeds up the growth model as well. So it's just a better way of doing things all around. So
I
uh,
dig it, man.
we have we've started putting some communications out there. I'm sure quite a few people have seen some of the emails, some of the I think we sent a text message out
Oh
last
yeah.
time. Yeah, we did. I was just looking at my schedule. Uh, so, but yeah, so it's something that the platform is the smartphone cards are going to end up being sunset at some point in time. Uh,
Okay.
so in
Get
my
it done
opinion,
sooner rather than later.
right, because what's going to end up happening is there's everybody that procrastinates is going to end up getting into a bottleneck, and
Right.
we're going to do everything we can to prevent that from happening, which is why we're starting the communications and everything so soon. So,
Communication. What?
what's that?
Stop it.
So converting over to the new system, the old card is going to die and we're going to get a new card, correct?
That's correct. Yep, there will be a new fuel card.
But it's
And
not going to kill
can you
the.
just move the money over from the old card, or do you need to use it up?
So that's really kind of up to you how you want to do that. You can either just deplete it, and then the next time you go to fund, you fund the account versus the old fuel card. Or if you've already got the new fuel card in hand, and you've still got several $100s on the smartphone card, you can go ahead and just give us a call, and we can go and transition it from one to the other.
Sweet.
So
And
we're flexible
when we
that.
kill the old card, like when we order the new one, the old one's not going to be dead automatically.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
So you'll be able to activate the new one and then have the transition.
So we can overlap. We can have
Yes.
a smooth transition.
Yes.
All right, cool. That's important because I mean, look, I don't want to order a card and then be out for a month, and all of a sudden my old card is dead,
right?
And I'm not coming home for a month. I mean, what the hell am I going to do then, right?
Yeah. No.
Dang
that
Jeff
would not be.
Reese.
No. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So with a fleet card, I know this is kind of petty, Jeff, but do I get to have more code transportation actually on my card now?
Yes, you do.
Yay!
Yes, you do. So you get to have either your company name or your name, whatever you want to have on there, but it will physically be printed on the card.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And that's helpful.
Absolutely.
Just because, I mean, you go in there and they're like, well, you're like, wait, is it Charlie Man or is it DDX Trans or what? Oh, yeah. Let me look at my card. Oh, because I'm not wearing my glasses. What does my card say? Because that happens a lot. I'm going to tell you right now. Like, I've been doing that like all week. I keep forgetting to. This week has been tremendous with my eyeballs because they have not been cooperating. And I have been leaving my glasses in the truck.
So before the show, he was actually trying to put them back in because they had bulged out.
Right. They were like hanging, and they're like, woo, they were gigantor. And but I kept having, hey, what's this screen saying? And they're like, oh my God, you idiot, hit OK. Oh, my bad. The big green button. I think there's two of them there, but that's fine, whatever. Oh my, it's been a thing, man. I
understand.
So I'm gonna throw this question out there for you because it's a question it's legit. So Blackbeard, he said, hey, Charlie, is there a way we can get ESA to do something similar to NASTC with daily fuel updates that would really help with deciding on better fueling decisions? And let me explain in case you don't know what he's talking about. NASTC puts out a daily report. I think it's I don't know when they put it out. And what they do is they say, hey, our average price is going to go up 0.004 cents at midnight. Or it's, we're expecting it to go down, whatever price. I might be able to show you a screenshot of it. I don't think wait. I'll send it to you in private because I don't think I should post that publicly because it's
probably not a good idea.
Proprietary things for them, I believe. And that would be wrong for me to do because I would never do that.
Right.
And they're also a discount market card. So even though their prices are usually not as good as what we get through you guys, I'm just gonna put that out there. The differences seem to be pretty close. Like if they say they're going to see an increase of 3 cents, we usually see an increase of 3 cents with you guys as well. If they say a decrease of 5, it's the same because it's discount market to discount market.
Right. Yeah.
The reason their price isn't usually as good as ESO is the fees that are associated to using the card and the discount amount that they're passing through. Hey, maybe for some of our newer people, Jeff, you could explain how you guys pass that discount through. How does that process work?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So really the standard in the marketplace, just so everybody knows kind of how a discount card works, is that they'll typically, first of all, if they say they have no fees, guys, is there anything free in this world?
Right.
I mean, really? So
it's a membership club. Oh, that has an annual fee, but that's not our fuel card fee. But you can't have a card without the membership.
You find. I mean, it's somewhere. One of the common things that happens is you'll find a discount card and it'll say no fees and but don't worry because we're giving you great discounts. You get average of 25 cents a gallon off.
Right.
Well, if they've got any kind of volume going through them, they've got way better than a 30 cent discount. So what they're doing is they're keeping pennies per gallon, which ends up being way more than if you were paying a transaction fee or whatever. So what we do is we decided that we were going to take a transparent approach to it. So we give 100% of the savings straight to the driver. So
that's why we love you, sir.
So, and we want you to know, there are fees that are involved, as far as floating funds to the card,
Right.
and a transaction fee, but you also get to see what the real discount is, and you never
Right.
have to wonder. You always know what you're getting for what you're paying for. So,
Right.
and when you
That's
actually look at
huge.
that, I mean, we end up it's pennies on the dollar as far as that's concerned, really.
Right.
Um, so it more than pays for itself, and continues to still be the best discount program out there.
And here's where I have a bone to pick with you. So I was doing some research for the show because I had to do Google search term research that is now part of my show prep and video
Mhm.
stuff, right? So that we trying to be relevant in the Google search world and the YouTube algorithms and all that, right?
Yep.
So that we can reach more people. Because if you don't have the right words, nobody's searching for the dumb words that I use. You know what I mean? And
Right.
they don't see it. So here's one of the things. So one of my searches today came up with best owner operator fuel card,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
And that is a very heavily searched term out there.
Hmm.
And Jeff Reese, you need to get on your people, because what I'm going to tell you right now should hurt you, should make you feel sad inside, that when you do that search,
Yep.
ES Advantage does not show up anywhere in the search. No place. So SEO, man, get on your web people. Be like, bro,
Yep.
sister, person, someone.
That's probably why we just hired a new one. So
I'm just saying, right? Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not typically naming competitors, but even Mudflap popped up. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And Mudflap's I mean, in terms of time, they're a relatively new startup in the game. I mean, they have an interesting service, and a lot of our guys in the Northeast do really well with them. It's a completely different type of fuel card system, but whatever, and they do well up there because sometimes there's markets that ES doesn't quite have that captured, or whatever it is that happens, right?
Sure.
And like we say, use whatever's best for you at the time. Whatever's going to. I see a truck leaving behind you. That's awesome. But whatever works for you best on that day. I mean, and Jeff Reese isn't going to get mad at us because I went to the QT yesterday, mind you, 385 at the QT yesterday in South Georgia was amazing, and they've been locked in for the last 4 days. Anyone coming down I-75. If for some reason you don't have any funds on your ES card, I think you could get a better price up the road at exit 201 at the TA, and maybe the other truck stop that's there maybe has a yellow sign, something like that.
Is that the one where you get the free showers?
Right. Free. They
Okay.
have free showers and a drink every day, like 2 free
Yeah.
showers every day. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing by utilizing that card. And but it's only, I can tell you that it's only slightly better, and I didn't have any funds on my card right now because I got life happening, and so I haven't been able to fund the card.
Hey, it
And
happens.
I mean, it's real. So I'm using my Swift Com Data card, right? And 385. All the major truck stops, their pump prices, their cash pump price is 350, 360, 370 in the same area.
Hmm.
And I'm getting 385 at a QT. So I mean, that's the thing. And we're constantly telling people, shop for your fuel, and sometimes a QT is awesome, sometimes they're not. Because I can tell you a QT up the road from there up closer to that 201 exit on 75 was like 30 cents higher. No explanation why,
Yep.
just is. It's the market, you know what I mean? These guys are fighting with a speedway down the way, which I enjoy.
There's nothing. I mean, that's what capitalism does.
Right? You know what I mean? And yeah, Georgia's fuel tax is suspended right now until the 13th. So there's another bonus to fueling in Georgia right now. I'm just saying, but yeah. So with those things in mind, one of the reasons that we got so excited when we talked to you initially was, oh yeah, they passed through 100% of the negotiated fuel discount price, and we're like, okay, cool. What's the catch? And okay, well, there's a fee to fund your card, which the bank has to charge because they're not moving money for free. Oh,
Right.
okay. So what else is the catch? Oh, well, when you slide your card at the TA today to use the ES card, we're going to charge you $250 for that transaction. And then you're going to walk inside and maybe use, I guess you can't really do it a whole lot right now because of the card function changes that happen because of all the fraud stuff. But you would walk into the shop and say, oh, I need a new air filter. And you slide your card. You didn't get hit for another $250 because you're still at the same location. which is a rarity all by itself. And then let's say you walked in and said, I'm going to use my ES card to buy a Kit Kat. And you're expecting to pay $250 for that Kit Kat extra for the fee, right? For sliding card. No.
Yeah.
If you're at the same location, slid your card, you only get hit for that transaction fee once. So $250 added to your total fuel price comes out to like next to nothing in the price per gallon.
Exactly. And that still works too. Like if say you're pulling refrigerated freight and you got to get diesel, you got to get DEF, you got to get reefer fuel, and then you got to go in and get some additives, some antifreeze, stuff like that. All that stuff is still just that one transaction fee. It's all it all just falls under that one transaction ID. And so that's one thing that we wanted to make sure of, that, you know, there's not going to be nickel and diming. And
that's, I mean, truly, that was the thing. I mean, you guys are big on the community thing. We love the word community is a big thing to me. I have treasured that word for quite some time. It was a mindset change, right? I don't want a group. I don't want a channel. I want a community of people, because when you get a community of people like I have here in my little neighborhood, I have a great community of people. And when things go wrong, like this hurricane we just had not too long ago, right? We all came together. We had plans. Like if we lost power and got flooded, like we were moving a grill up on my buddy's roof. We had all of the foods sorted out for the next week. I mean, we would have pulled our meat. I'm telling you, when we have a hurricane that shuts it all down, we eat like freaking kings for like a week or two. It is the most, because we're cooking off all the meat that everybody had in the freezer.
It's gonna go bad. It's gonna go bad.
You know, I mean, we had all these plans, and when bad things happen in the neighborhood, we're like, hey, we got a little text group. We're like, hey, group, something's going on here at Bruce's house. Man, you would be amazed at the rollout that happens in our neighborhood, because I'm just saying, don't do bad things and threaten people in this neighborhood, because you will see people come from 360 degrees, very well armed and armored. I'm just saying, it's weird. It is the craziest thing you ever saw, because everybody's, ex-military or woods country hunting type folk. And man, I am telling you, don't mess around this neighborhood, because we got you.
Hey, that's where you want to be. Then that's where you want to be.
And we've got a reaction time of 2 minutes tops, right?
Wow.
Not 30 minutes waiting for blue lights to show up. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Don't mess around this neighborhood, because we got you. And we'll have you
noted.
Right? You know what I'm saying, right? It's crazy. But I'm sorry, squirrels. Whoa, where we go? What else? So recently you guys released the ES Health Plans website, eshealthplans.com, which opened up a whole wonderful world. I can't remember the date, but we had Greg on from that. He's the guy that you actually talk to when you try and sign up for the different options there. I mean, dude, you guys are like amazing. I mean, we wouldn't know about Trucker CFO. We wouldn't know about Seabright. And all of these people have saved us money or provided us extremely better service than the other options we had prior.
That's our goal. That's our goal. We want to bring value where we can.
It's that community thing, Jeff.
It is. It is. It definitely is. So but yeah, bringing up ES Health Plans, we're about 30 days out from open enrollment. So now's the time to start looking at it.
No doubt.
Start having that conversation with Greg, see what works, what doesn't work. And I mean, when he was here, I think y'all figured it out. He's not looking to sell something. He's looking to help people.
Right.
So that's
Raymond Rivera. Do we have to put money into that card? It is a prepaid card, but you guys have options. Are those still options out there? We talked about them a while back as far as how to qualify and things like that. And some of those options are difficult to get. Let's be real.
Right. And just so you know too, you don't, like when you transition from the Smart Fund card to the account, the fleet account, we're not requiring you to put money on that account immediately. We understand that you've got funds on another, place that you're trying to use up. So,
but yeah, it is a prepaid fuel card, Raymond. So keep that in mind. I mean, you gotta there are ways to do it. Some ways are easier than others. And I mean, if you got, $5,000 is what I would recommend as a solo guy out there. I mean, that would fund your card greatly for a 2-week period. The reason we look at that 2-week period is the way, most of the contractors here at Swift that, that we deal with get us a weekly settlement. So the fuel you paid for that week then gets paid on Monday, and you take what you saved in fuel from the ES card and drop that money right back onto your ES card and do it as an ACH transfer. So you get the much smaller 0.5% funding fee versus, I can't remember the other one. Is it 3.5?
3.5 for a credit card or debit card. Yep.
Right. So you only pay 0.5% on the money you're putting into the card. And, it takes 3 or 4 days. So by Thursday, it's loaded. It's ready for the following week, but you still got that other week to cushion you. So you can keep rolling it and cash rolling it for 2, as long as you can get 2 weeks on that card, you're gold. I mean, ideally, I'd love to have a month's worth of fuel on there so I don't ever have to worry about it. But I'm going to tell you, it would put me in a bad, weird. I'd be like, I got a whole month. I'm going to keep this 2 weeks. I'm going to buy a new AR that I'm going to build. That's going to be great. Whatever. Because I'm broken. I'm not a responsible adult. Adulting is hard.
Adulting is hard.
Math is hard.
What?
Whatever. Math is hard. Jeff, welcome back, sir.
Yeah, that was Dana, and as you know, I
see you.
Never not answer the phone when my OOC calls.
Right. Look, did you get an answer to the other question?
The answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to fix that right now. Sorry, back in. So, Letif, I will be putting you in the private Facebook group right this second. So, Jeff, you may continue to talk. Either Jeff. See what I did there? I was like, Jeff, you can talk, and you're like,
so I need to do something real quick, Jeff,
because
I'm not the only driver out here with the diabetes, and I found something. And Charlie's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this again."
I like it.
This stuff right here, chocolate brownie walnut butter. It's got 9 grams of carbs and actually tastes like chocolate brownie. So if you're like me and you got a sweet tooth, look for stuff like that if you got the beaties, because one half of a candy bar will put me in a coma, but this stuff gives me the dessert without all the carbs. It's awesome. I like nut butter.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Right? And look, let's face it, there's a lot of people out here with the beaties or borderline or about to. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm just saying, companies are looking for reasons to cut people. Okay?
Right.
When you start becoming borderline on anything, you need to fix what you're doing, because now is not the time to be borderline anything.
Right.
Right. Well, with what's going on, my doctor, I actually asked him, look, what's the deal? Because I'm going in Thursday for my A1C and then DOT physical on Monday. I asked him, what's the real deal? So he actually looked it up, guys. And this is my doctor's DOT certified, which if you're an owner operator, not on the company side, but if you're an owner operator at Swift, you do not have to go to one of their doctors.
Right.
Period. End of discussion. So anyway, the actual DOT regulation states, according to my doctor, that you have to be below 8.5 to get a medical certificate on your A1C. If you are above 8.5, you can get a 30-day card.
Oof.
I thought it was a 6-month, but it's a 30-day card.
Wow.
So that's pretty serious. Guys, watch your numbers, man.
Think about the added stress of having a 30-day medical card.
Right. If you know anything, Jeff, about diabetes, it takes 3 months of treatment to really affect that A1C. So you got to get it below 8 to get a medical card at that point in 30 days.
Good luck.
So basically, you might as well just go on the starvation diet, like they used to call it in the 1800s.
Right.
Wow.
For 30 days and just eat nothing and hope, pray that it gets down there. And this is a career ender. Medical cards, no joke, man.
If you poop in one hand and fill the other hand with hope, which one fills up first? It's the poopy hand, I'll tell you. My bad. I apologize. There's something wrong with me.
So yeah, there's that. So the other thing I have for you, you'll feel good about this, Jeff, because this is a shout out to our friend Colton Lawrence, who I know you guys love him just as much as I do. So another one of the differences, Jeff, I was with a different accountant for years and years. Colton calls this particular firm the 800-pound gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
In the 15 or so years that I did business with them, the only time I heard from them was at tax time if they needed something from me. So I got a call from Jessica today, who is my account representative at Truck CFO. And I said, Jeff, I'm kind of doing an audit of your P&Ls, and we're missing last month's cell phone bill. Could you please send that to me so I can update your records?
Amazing.
I'm speechless. Not at the end of the year tax time, like 30 days
Not
ago.
at the 11th hour.
Right.
Not like, yeah.
They are so proactive. It's amazing. So
Yeah,
couldn't be
they
happier
do
with
an
that.
amazing job. They really do.
Dude, like seriously, Jeff, like we cannot thank you enough for the people and companies and the community you have introduced us to and brought us in as a part of and helped us to expand our community and bring some of our people into your community, which makes it all of our community. I got lost there. I think I just broke something. Like, I got lost in the community, but I love the community. I do. You know, you guys that see me post, I'm constantly talking about community stuff, community this, community that. It's important. I believe it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you end up getting lost somewhere, it's best to get lost in the community.
Right? Because
Yes.
you know, most of my community knows where to return me to. They're like, Rosie, he's out again.
Mm-hmm.
Was he on the sauce?
Did you leave the gate open again?
Yeah,
Well, that was
slipped
my
collar.
that was my go-to at Driver Appreciation Week. Rosie, where's Charley? She knew exactly where he was at all times.
So for you guys that are looking for health insurance, things like that, go to that website. Is that right? ES Health.
No.
I didn't do it right. Like, wait, I screwed that up.
Get
it right.
Plans.com. Good Lord, what is wrong with me? Oh my God, and I fat fingered something there. Oh, I broke it. Healthplans.com.
Why don't you just go to the
You quiet your mouth. Don't, because I'm not smart, Jeff. That's right. Look right here. ESHealthplans.com. I will do the other thing too here in just a minute, but I know Reese has to get out of here because Mrs. Reese is going to hurt us because she doesn't like me very much. I bet she does. I'm just saying.
you know, Jeff, in
She'll love
another
me when
about
she meets
6
me.
weeks, by now it'll be dark outside that window.
Right?
I know that makes me sad. That makes me sad.
Man, I just, you know, but look, I just, we get all these questions and when we get you on here, I get all excited. We want to talk about stuff and, you know, over the time we've been doing business, it's, you know, I don't get to catch up with you very often because you're busy. We're busy. We're doing things and you're doing things.
All over the place.
You know
We're
what I
all
mean?
over the place.
It's hard to catch up, man. And, you
That's
know,
right.
gosh, so I get you here and I'm like, hey, Jeff, how's the wife? How's the world going? You know what I mean? It's all good. And then you're like, bro, I got to go. I'm like, whatever.
How's that SEO on your website going?
Right. I told him.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to give you an update on that one too now.
Because just saying, it was bad, Jeff. It was
Hey,
bad.
you know, we've been learning stuff about that. We'd be more than happy to talk to your people.
Right?
All right.
A little
Just
give
saying.
back here, you know. Give back to the community.
Hey, we'll take it. There ain't
Yes.
no shame in that.
Man, Charlie's working like he's got a fever there.
Look, I've been doing a lot.
You need more cowbell, Charlie? Is that what it is?
We always look. The world always needs more cowbell. Like that's not even like a thing. How can you live without cowbell? Let me do this. I'm going to share this screen real quick before I let you go. I got to stop that one. Dang it! Stop screen. I don't know how to work technology. Technology's hard, yo. Quiet your mouth, Jeff, with your soft whines and moans and crap. I don't want to hear your nonsense.
Hey, every time I think I've got something figured out, I learn something new, and I'm like, crap, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this other thing.
Right there. You go to that.
There it is.
Beautiful website, eshealthplans.com. And there's just so much there. There's like medical, dental, vision, life insurance, telehealth. The telehealth plans is still something that I really think is amazing for us and our community of folks because of the fact that we can't get to a doctor. It's too damn hard. So if you're not bleeding and you didn't break your arm, you got the sniffles, you got, ache and pain in your eyeball. I'm just saying that's probably your best bet,
They handle strep throat. They handle it like everything.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had that conversation where they're like, "Yeah, put the camera and let me see."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got strep, bro. You're like, holy crap.
Well, and like we still have the 3 kids at home, and we have the Obamacare, because taxes make it look like we're poor. But you ever try to get a kid into the doctor? The telehealth thing, though, we can just call.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And especially a lot of times with kids, it is something like strep throat or tonsillitis or something. And all they need is to have some antibiotics for a couple of days, and they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time you get the doctor through the normal channels, it's 4 days down the road anyway, and antibiotics don't do any good. Your kid's half dead. Yeah. I really like telehealth. I just love it.
So and you get to try it out for 2 months for free. We got that covered, and then from there for an individual, it's what, $8.95 a month. For a whole family, it's
amazing.
$9.95 a month.
Yeah.
So, it's that's about as good of an investment as you can make.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. If you haven't, if you're catching this on the replay and you have questions for Jeff Reese or about the ES Advantage program or any of their offerings, I mean, you can go to essuccessintrucking.com/cc and sign up for the fuel card there. You will get the referral bonus that Jeff and I could have taken, but we decided we didn't want to take. That $50 is going to get put on your fuel card the first time you fund it and use that card. That'll be there for you. You could, of course, go to essuccessintrucking.com and sign up for the fuel card that way. And whatever, you just don't get that extra $50. So there you go. Just saying.
We should probably be clear, Jeff. When they sign up for the new program, they don't get another $50.
Right.
What?
He's talking about the referral bonus. Exactly.
Right. When they swap from the single to the fleet card, they don't get another $50.
Right. We
probably ought to make that clear.
So
just saving the phone calls, Jeff.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you very much.
Hey, we know our people.
Yeah.
I would call
somebody's gonna ask that. Yeah.
Where's my $50? I got it from them guys. Whatever.
I got it the first time I did this. Yep.
Well, Jeff Reese, thank you so much for being here, brother. And anytime you need to pop in and share some info, we'll be here for you. Appreciate you guys putting that ad out, and I think it's a great ad. Thank you so much.
By the way, Jeff, tell all your friends to check out our YouTube channel.
Right.
We just put up our interview with the 2 big dogs, Adam Miller and Jim Simmons,
COO.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
absolutely.
I'm having problems here. And check it out. It'll give you some insight into our business a little bit.
Okay.
On the Swiss side. And just tell all your friends and get that traffic going.
Right.
Sounds like a plan. We'll get it out there.
I'm just saying, man. Yeah, and it's 37 minutes. I mean, it's for us, that's a click. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because Jeff and I do some wonky 2 hours and things like that. So but yeah, so thanks so much, sir. We do appreciate you, and we look forward to the next time we get you out here and talk about some new stuff and exciting stuff. And you guys go check out ES Advantage. Seriously, they are doing some amazing things. And you know what? If you're a Swift contractor, they have lots of programs you can benefit from. If you're not a Swift contractor and you're out there running your own numbers, or you're contracted to another carrier, guess what? They got stuff for you too. So get it all squared away. Check them out.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
guys. I appreciate it. See ya.
Jeff Reese, everyone.
Jeff Reese, ES Advantage. Woo! I didn't want to be the only one clapping. Is that wrong? Whatever. Don't judge me. Bear Hunter said you need to adjust your mic, sir. He also said he needs money on his card.
Well, that tells you everything you really need to know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I keep on getting the cutouts because I have a whole fleet of reefers driving by me right now.
It's actually what I can tell you what it is. It's the explosives. It's the t and p. Mike's in a weird spot, so it's really picking up the T's and the P's. So the pops are happening. Yeah, that's what it is. Don't worry. Bear Hunter, turn down your mic a little bit or your headset. Something. I don't know what to tell you. You better quit picking on Jeff, man. Dude's out there working. Coughing into the mic. We love that. I don't know who doesn't. It makes me happy. I feel like I just caught the Rona from Jeff somehow, but whatever.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's got the Rona again. Second time.
Good Lord.
It is that season, guys, so be careful out there.
Jeff's eating the mic, Blackbeard said. There you go, bro. I'm just saying. Right there is a link to the YouTube video that we did with Adam Miller and Jim Fitzsimmons. So, if you want to check it out. Let us know what you think. Drop some comments in there. Like always, if you got questions and you're on the replay, go down there, drop questions in the comments, and we will get back to you as quick as we can. You guys that are here in the channel, if you guys got questions, we can open up the floor to whatever you'd like to talk about now. I'm going to put the phone number up for anyone who might want to call in. There you go. You call 813-548-3722. That is 813-LIVE FCC. And we will take your calls. And I will open that screen so I actually see if somebody calls and remember to actually put you on the show. You will be right here live on the show with us on the air. Audio.
Yay.
Because we're cool like that. And we have a phone system. I'm just saying. We're kind of a big deal with our tens and tens of viewers. So, you guys help us out. We appreciate you. Whatever.
Hey, you know what? We have more viewers than the DAT guys do on their DAT live every week.
Whoop, whoop. That's what I'm talking about. We got goals, yo. Look, I don't even mind the live view. I mean, I enjoy when we have people here live that, can interact and engage and ask questions and add comments and things like that. I think it's great. But as long as people are watching it, watch it next week. Watch it whenever you need to watch it. I mean, in fact, here's the best part. We typically format this so that you don't actually have to watch it. You could just listen to it. And we have got some plans to try and get more of a strictly audio version of it out, maybe, so we could get it out there on things like Spotify, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And you could catch the strictly audio version with a link back to here if you want to actually, if there's something we said or we're like, oh yeah, check this out, look at this thing, and we forgot to describe it well enough. Well, you could always fall back to the video and find that spot. Just saying. Right. If you guys got questions, comments, by all means, please throw them up. I forgot. If you're still there, I was told that you have some questions. So if you'd like to call in, please, by all means, man. If not, type up your questions, bro, and we will dip into the most of those that we can. Insurance, accounting, fuel purchasing for new contractors. Blackbeard wants us to talk about, and that's to help Letif out. I can tell you. You want to dip in any of that, Jeff? Start us off with something.
Yes.
I love putting them on the spot. It's so much fun.
It is.
See, we don't talk about this stuff. We don't talk about this stuff before the show. We just throw it at each other. It's like gorillas with poop. What?
Well, we just did an hour with Reese on the fuel. Basically, guys, the worst possible way as a Swift contractor to buy fuel is to follow the Swift fuel routing and use your data card. That is the absolute worst way to buy fuel. You will spend more money on fuel than you need to. Fuel prices are on the rise. One of the things I'm in several other groups where I just kind of point out nonchalantly, hey, you guys are all talking about, they'll have a picture of the pump price. Some places are up around $6 again. And I'm like, yeah, I don't pay that. I don't know why you're paying that.
That is just brutal, man.
I never pay retail unless I am for a reason. So what would the reason be, Charlie?
Oh,
there's
not
actually
adulting.
There's actually two. The first reason is not adulting. So the fuel card that we use, although there is a charge card option on it, we prefer not to do that. We prefer to just preload the card.
Right.
So the program that Charlie and I are on, our recommendation with the fuel prices the way they are right now, and okay, if you're driving, just take a deep breath real quick. You want $5,000 on that card at all times. What that allows you to do, because it takes a little bit to get the funds moved from your bank to the card, is it allows you to cash flow that fuel purchase. So I'm going to use up, say, $1,500, $1,800 worth of fuel off that card this week. It's going to take me another week to refund it. If I've got my $5,000 on there, who cares? It's just going to cash flow. It's just going to keep rolling, and I'm never out of fuel money. That's the best way to do it. It takes some time to get to that level. Don't unless you're like super adult, which Charlie and I are not, by the way.
I'm not.
And could just stroke a check for $5,000 and put it on the card? Sure, do that. Just get it done. Otherwise, it's going to take you a little while to get to that level. And what you do for that is, you're looking at saving about $150 a week on a solar operation right now on that fuel card, maybe up to $200 depending on what region you're running. You pay that discount back into the card. So let's say you spent $1,000 on fuel, but the retail value of that fuel was actually $1,200. So next week you're going to put $1,200 on the card. You're just going to pay yourself forward on that, and over time you'll get up to that $5,000. On the insurance, whether it's health or the trucking insurance, let's talk about trucking insurance real quick first.
We know more about that.
Because we know more about that, right? Because we kind of helped build this thing. So, so especially if you're a Swift contractor, we do have a policy through a company called Seabright Agency that we helped create the policy on. And this is specifically for Swift contractors. And it'll do a couple things for you. If you're in a brand new truck, especially if you've got that $625 to $710, did you say on the new Kenworth?
Yeah,
Charlie?
something like that. 707, I think.
Payment truck, you're going to save around $200 a month on your insurance, and that's
just
if
on the
you
physical
buy
damage.
Well, if you buy everything, you're still going to save a couple $100 a month. And by everything, I mean you even bought the insurance that Swift doesn't offer.
Right. All the extra coverages and options that we have.
All the extra coverages that will absolutely save your bacon if you ever did actually have an accident.
Bacon.
So, yeah.
Bacon.
The other thing it does for you is you get to get rid of that smart drive camera.
Bacon.
It's not required.
Bacon.
Okay, Charlie.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, you're being Charlie, man.
I've had a great day today. You heard me earlier. I mean, even before the show, I was on fire. I was like,
I'm doing my best to ruin that for you right now.
I see how you are.
So there is a caveat to getting rid of the smart drive camera that we recently learned about, though.
Right.
If you voluntarily got Swift insurance and you have that smart drive camera in your truck as a result, and you've racked up a bunch of smart drive, I'm not a very good driver points according to Swift, guess what? They're not going to let you take that camera out even if you do go with another insurance company until you get your points below, what did they say, 20 points, something like that?
Yeah, I think it's 20 is the threshold.
Which takes 30 days of driving safely.
Right.
You can't just go park the truck and take 30 days off.
I tried that. They're like, no, sir, that won't work. I was like, dang.
Right. So if you've racked up a bunch of points, and we're not going to debate right now how justified those points are. You know that Charlie and I have our opinion on that is probably the same as most people that are watching us right now.
Right.
But the fact is that if you have those points that Swift said, hey, you followed too close, or hey, this, or hey, that, they're not going to let you get rid of that camera until you get those points down.
Right. Even with outside insurance.
So that's the thing.
There's an interesting development this week that we've been talking about for the last couple days, Jeff, that I just brought you in on that conversation. You know, there's a contractor out there who's brand new to our private group today. But he owns his truck outright now. But he's in a rental with a smart drive because his truck was hit. And so he rented a Swift truck at the full contract weekly rate Just so you know that if you own your truck, you don't get the 7 cent a mile rate if you're under lease.
It's like renting a truck from Penske at that point.
So, but it's got a Swift Smart Drive camera in it, and he's been racking up points, and he doesn't agree with the way that they do that. He's not even aware of the point system. He's been getting phone calls from his OOC or safety people saying, "Hey, man, we got to work on this. Hey, you're falling too close," or whatever it is that's going on. And what he doesn't understand is that they could actually terminate if those points get too high while he's in that rental. They could, in theory, tell him one of two things: we're going to terminate your contract. We're going to terminate your contract. No, that was accurate. Or we're going to require you to install a smart drive camera in the truck that you've already paid off, even though you have your own insurance, because now we know we have a history of unsafe behavior, and they are on the hook for that from a liability standpoint in litigation, in court cases, things like that.
So this is one of those things, guys. Agree with the camera or not, our position by now, I hope. They can't unsee what they've seen.
Right.
If they see legally liable that violate their policies for safety, and they let you keep driving and you get into a wreck even a year or two down the road, that's going to come up. Some ambulance chaser is going to find out.
And that $100,000 court case just turned into a $10 million court case because of negligence on the part of the carrier.
Yep.
I promise you're not making enough money for them to cover $1 million claim, let alone a $10 million claim. Okay. You're just not that profitable for them that they're going to be like, "Oh, bro, it's cool. Don't worry. We'll cover that $1 million. You're out. You're gone. You're done. Bye."
Yep.
Can't keep you.
Just be aware of those things. First of all, I think, Charlie, a lot of people don't know. Like the day that I paid off my truck, I no longer had that 7 cent a mile benefit for the rentals.
Right.
And this is no different than, let's say you went and leased a Toyota. Something happened to it. It's in the body shop. Toyota is going to give you a rental. Well, if you no longer have a lease with Toyota, they're not going to give you that benefit.
Right.
Same thing.
And if you find a place that does that, that's an amazing place, and you should always do business with them. Just saying.
Absolutely.
That's a plus if there ever was one, but hopefully your car's not in the shop enough that you have to worry about it. But I'm just saying. But let's be real. Trucks are trucks, and they break down a lot, and people run into them when you're parked in, safe, legal spots. But don't be the guy at the end of the lot. I'm just saying.
What was the other thing that he brought up? Insurance, accounting, fuel purchases.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope. I hope I don't
make it happen.
I hope I don't butcher this guy's name, but Ladif, maybe?
Ladif. I went with Ladif.
Ladif. I mean, the first name I have a certain idea of, but then the last name throws me, if that makes sense.
I just gave up past the first name. I'm not even going to pretend.
So, Ladif, here's the thing with accounting. We like Trucker CFO. You just heard me tell, my most recent why I like them. They're very proactive. If you are a sole proprietor, they cost exactly the same as the company that Swift wants you to go with, but they do a better job. If you have an S Corp like Charlie and I, they're actually $8, $9 a week cheaper for that service. And then if you're like our buddy Alan Becker and you had 10 million trucks out there,
right?
At least the Swift, they actually offer a service where they do the double accounting, all that stuff that I don't understand at all. That's a service that, as far as I'm aware of, ATBS doesn't even offer. They might, and it might just be that I never got to that level where I needed it, so they never offered it to me.
800-pound gorilla.
But I do know that Trucker CFO absolutely will offer that service. And they do Trucker CFO does taxes. I mean, he is an actual CPA. One of the things we like about him, and just know that we don't make any money from him other than the normal referral. Like if you sign up for him and you say that, "Hey, we heard about you from these two jackasses on YouTube. we get the little $20 for that, but we don't get any like advertising dollars from him or anything like that. We just like
Not
him.
yet.
Well, we'd like
Oh.
to get advertisers from everybody, but you know that just doesn't happen in the real world. Where was I, Charlie? Trucker CFO.
Yep.
One of the things we like about him is his business philosophy. He treats you as the CEO of your company,
which you are.
I'll warn you, he has very little tolerance for people that are paying for a job.
Right. He'll tell you.
He will tell you so. If he thinks you're paying for a job, he'll be like, dude, why are you an owner operator?
But that's good.
But
we
that's his
that
role.
Are honest in our life.
He sees himself as your CFO, your chief financial officer. So if you have a decision point to make, like recently I was looking at other carriers, I was looking at trucks, I was looking at this, I was able to call him, and his time is limited. Like if you have an appointment to call him, he usually limits it to an hour. You're done, because that's the time he's got for the money you're paying him. But we went over different options, stuff he knew about some of these other carriers I was looking at, what trucks cost, cost of ownership, not just cost of purchase. All this stuff we went over, and he made his recommendations, my CFO, and said, okay, now Jeff, it's time for you to make a choice. Well, as you probably know, if I had gone to another carrier, you guys would all know about it, and I'd be a Codenames Narc show on a stick and all sorts of stuff.
It'd be great.
So, well, if that's what I have to do to be a head on a stick, I guess maybe that's what I need to do, right?
I think the company that he went to for all the pictures, they were like, bro, you're creepy, and they stopped printing pictures for him.
Okay. But so yeah, for tax services and general accounting, we absolutely love Colton at Trucker CFO.
What?
So
we got the thumbs from Letty.
What you're going to find, and one of the things you'll learn from us, is build relationships. Full disclaimer here, I don't know if the average Joe could just call Colton's people and get an appointment like within 48 hours. But I've actually been to his office. I've sat down with him. I've met him. I've kind of nurtured a relationship with him over the last year.
Right.
Something that I wasn't even able to do at the other company. Trying to call them was just like, nope. So, as I've built the relationship with him, things have evolved a little bit for me. Same thing with my OOC, my owner operator consultant at Swift. Now, I've been with this woman for 17 years. I started with her as a student, as a company driver, and now as an owner operator. And Charlie and I will both tell you, I don't know what would happen if Dana decided to retire tomorrow. She's that big of an asset to my business.
Right.
Now, I do have other people that I have relationships with, but not like that one. It's just such a long-term relationship. So I have an opinion that I probably should not state openly about ATVS. Because there may be ramifications that I wouldn't like.
800
but I would say that they did me well enough for about 12 years, maybe 13. Where it took a turn was when I filed for an S corp.
Right.
It was when I paid my truck off, which, if you guys understand how all the tax stuff works, you need to be making a certain amount of profit to make an S corp worth it, because the name of the game is to save on taxes. And that does not happen unless you're making over $65,000 a year, generally speaking. That's the general rule, 65 grand in the bank that you're paying taxes on. If you're above that, you can save some money on taxes with an S corp. Anyway, so I filed an S corp in 2021 after my truck was paid off, and truck payment, that $36,000 a year raise basically, once you don't have a truck payment. And that's when it all fell apart.
Right.
I started paying them twice as much money as you guys with sole proper paying, and actually got less service. It was weird.
And could never get a hold of anybody.
Right. Now, there's some reasons for that, and their CEO was kind enough to call me and talk to me about it. And I understand what happened with COVID and all sorts of things were going on. So I have to say that was a lot of what was happening. However, it did nothing for my business.
Right.
And I've got a business to run. So I started looking, and Jeff Reese said, "Hey, we know this guy."
Right.
And I went with him, and it's been great. It's just been great.
So Blackbeard also, he said also, planner number and direct message contact. Light should know. We can't get into that here because some of that is proprietary stuff on the Swift side, and I'm sure they don't want to put their numbers
in the private group.
Right. We can reach out there and we can talk to you about some specific things there. And yes, Blackbeard, I am not going to argue your statement. ATBS is junk, in my opinion. That is your opinion, sir, to have. I appreciate your opinion, and I will say that your opinion means much to me right now, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
See what I did there, Jeff?
I did.
That was well played, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just saying.
As long as we don't put their logo up, I think we're good.
Right? Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Don't even start me on logo stuff right now. I'm just
so yeah, so we've got, just so you people that are here at Swift, in case you're new, the OO planners, or as they're actually called, the OOFCs, they're the owner operator fleet consultants.
Excuse me.
You can call them when you're stuck somewhere, and they will try and get you a load to somewhere where you either need to go or where you don't get stuck anymore.
Right. That's magic.
Right. And there is a number for that. And on our private Facebook group for Swift owner operators, we have that up there. For those of you guys that are not at Swift, I would encourage you, to like our Facebook page. You can't join the Swift group itself because that's just for Swift contractors, because like this case, proprietary information. But if we get a good number of you guys from other carriers in there, we have no problem creating a group for your carrier where you guys can discuss inside baseball.
And that would be in our new platform, in our private community. It is a paid site. It would require you to actually sign up for a year. We believe the price is absolutely fair and equitable, and the value that you will get out of that, I believe, far exceeds what you're going to pay for that site. So you can get all that information if you go to contractorscorner.cc. You'll see it right there underneath my name and underneath Jeff's name today. Sometimes he has something weird over there.
I decided to play it straight this week.
That's cool. This week, straight this week. Just saying, what?
I'm fluid.
Whoa, stop it. We ain't judging. But yeah, so
I'm learning all sorts of stuff from my daughter. So,
Well, if you would like to call, let me put that phone number up there. It is wrong button.
Agency.
Yeah. So for insurance, you get all of this information, by the way, on the contractorscorner.cc website. You will find links to all this stuff there that we talk about on a regular basis. If you'd like to call on the show, dial 813-548-3722 right now, and I will see that you're sitting there. It's 813 live SCC for those of you that like the letters versus the numbers. 813-548-3722. 813-548-3722. It looked like you had to pee all of a sudden right there, Jeff. That was a chiver. I'm just saying. Just gotta go pee.
Well, I've been below the 40 for so long that this 68 degrees feels cold.
Dude, it's nice, right? I know. Dude, we came home last night at about 10 o'clock. We got here. It was 74 degrees and dropping to 68. And I was like, wow. Like, I just didn't know how to act anymore right now.
Dana was complaining about one of her operators' idle time. And I was just like, yeah, don't look at mine right now because...
Right.
I was in Phoenix.
They can complain to us about, so that's cool. But yeah,
well, so where she complains, and this is something to talk about too, is you got this guy not making money, and then she goes in and looks. Why are you at 80% idle on I-80?
Right. Well, it's 58 degrees out and it's too cold, and I have to run my engine for the heater. Do you have an E-Spar?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's 72 degrees and it's too warm for me to sleep. Look, I get it. Everybody's different. Don't get me wrong. When the sun's blaring on the truck, okay, that's a thing. But at night,
Dude, that is a thing.
I know. Especially with your truck because, someone took out all the insulation in the wall.
I did take it out of the top.
No, but that back wall in Phoenix was something else.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, when I do the next version of it, I'm going to definitely fix that. So Muna wants to know, how do I get about getting an OOC? I'm on a dedicated account right now and I'm about to go OTR. So when you go OTR, you're going to get assigned to a terminal. You're going to want to talk to the terminal manager and say, hey, man, I want an OOC, not just a regular DL.
Right.
And the reason this is important, guys, is because the OOCs, theoretically, there's some issues here, but we're trying to fix them. Theoretically, the OOCs have been trained on our business model. So they understand why you don't want to deadhead 500 miles to take a 200-mile load. Okay. They understand the fuel. They understand the maintenance. Things like the relationship I have with mine. So I'm going to put it out there so you guys can make fun of me in a couple of weeks when I end up leasing a truck again. So I've got oil in my coolant reservoir right now. I have this load that goes to Fife, Washington, and I'm like, hey, I need to T-call this in West Valley City, my home, so that I can get the truck looked at without having to get a hotel.
Right.
And hope the truck makes it. Because, those of you that are mechanically minded know that this could be a really bad thing. So with an OOC, they're like, oh, crap, he's got maintenance problems. Let's get that T-call done. The DL, they're like, well, I don't see the problem. They don't even know that we have to pay for our own hotels.
Right.
So that's some of the differences.
I don't smoke cigarettes, sir. Yes, I smoke cigars. And what I'm smoking right now is a ILC brand. It's got a Habano wrapper. It's a pretty good smoking cigar. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm trying to quit, but I'm a weak person. I'm a junkie. So, unfortunately, I smoke
You made it a couple days this last time, though.
Yeah, I know. And then I just started stressing out over all this medical stuff, and it just didn't help. It just wasn't. I did not need to add more stress to my life.
Yes, but in the time I've known you, that's the longest you've made it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
So that's good.
813-548-3722. If anyone wants to call in, I am looking at that screen. No one's called. I'm just going to throw it out there. There was something else. I want to go back to Muna. When you make this transition, you might want to call a couple of different terminals beforehand and talk to the terminal leader or the fleet leader and say, hey, I'm coming off a dedicated account and I'm wondering if I could talk to a couple of your OOCs or something like that, or your OOC. Some terminals don't have an OOC, which is weird to me, but whatever. I would recommend reaching out to the Troutdale terminal and talking to mine and Jeff's OOC, Dana Nelson, DAYNANELSON. If you are a member of our private Facebook group, reach out to me there and I will give you her Qualcomm, or not Qualcomm, but her direct messaging code. So a macro 13, and I can put you in contact with her that way. And you guys should interview each other, explain what your goals and your needs are, find out what their goals and needs are, because every terminal's got some different things going on, different things that they expect from contractors or company drivers, things like that. And you need to make sure that you guys mesh. Just because you live in, say, Florida, like Charley, like me, this guy right here, I live in Florida. My home terminal is Troutdale, Oregon. I've been with Dana Nelson since 2008, since the very first day I started driving. And I've actually popped out of offer board several times when I went out into a couple different dedicated accounts or things like that, when they just actually signed contracts for dedicated accounts, and which required me to actually have a different driver leader from that account. And here's the funny thing is I would still call her and she would still fix things because the people at those dedicateds didn't know what I was talking about. Just saying. Because I had that relationship built with her already. She is family to me. Like, she is absolutely family. Sister like. I mean, I don't know how other to describe it. I love that lady and but she is not for everybody, and she'll tell you the same thing. People either love Dana or they really, really don't like Dana. It's just a thing.
I could tell you that if I was interviewing for a new OOC, I would say something crazy like, I expect 3,000 miles a week solo. And see what they say.
Right.
What they need to say is, well, you understand the freight problems we're having right now.
Right.
That's what they should say.
They should say, hey, let's have a discussion about realistic expectations in the current market.
None of this, hey, I could do that for you, because no, they can't.
Right. Another terminal I would recommend reaching out to, I can give you a couple recommendations. Troutdale, Oregon, talk to Dana Nelson. I'm not going to be able to give you specific names at other terminals, but Oklahoma City, well, Jimmy is a guy at Oklahoma City who's an OOC who's really passionate for his drivers, his owner operators. He is an OOC. Really, from everything I've heard, really goes to battle for his owner operators, contractors. The Ocala terminal, for some folks is amazing. Some folks have had problems there for whatever. Personality issues. I mean, that's anywhere you're going to go. But there's three right off the top that I could tell you. Some of the people in Phoenix, we've had a good experience with for some of our contractors. The Phoenix 4 team there. Oh, there's 5 of them, but they call it Phoenix 4, whatever. They have dedicated OOCs. A couple of the other terminals, Decatur has a dedicated OOC or a couple, and that's all they work with is contractors. So you really want to reach out to those terminals, and reach out to those terminals. Swing by them. Honestly, the best thing you could do is figure out a way to swing by some of the terminals you want to check out and ask to speak to the terminal leader, fleet leader, or an OOC. And say, hey, look, I'm coming off this dedicated right now and whatever. If I believe that I think we just touched on a lot of that. I think it depends on the individual and the relationship you build there. If asked, what do you think is the best terminal to be a part of? For planners, home time, and driver leader. So planners aren't necessarily the concern out of your home terminal, because if you're not running out of that area all the time, you're going to be planned by Oklahoma City or Columbus, Ohio, or Dallas, whatever. You know what I mean? You're planned based on your location, not by your terminal, unless you're coming out of home time or something like that, and that's where you live.
And the home time thing, that's all up to you, man. You own your business.
Right.
Or do you want to go home?
Lancaster, sorry, Muna said, only terminal I'm around is Lancaster. That's now because of the dedicated you're on. As you get out there OTR, look, there's nothing wrong with getting out there and saying, look, hey, Lancaster terminal, I'm coming out of this dedicated. I'm telling you right now, I'm shopping for an OOC. So you guys are my home terminal for now, but know that I'm shopping. Right. Yep. And talk to their OOC.
Yeah. And, I'm always going to recommend that the first OOC you have, you try and build a relationship with them.
Right.
Give them a shot first. And if it's just not working out, you need to be able to explain why it's not working out. You're a business owner, so you need to be able to, when you make a decision like this, you got to be able to say, in writing, basically. I write, I'm big into my journaling thing. So I'll write out these are the things that are going well. These are the things that aren't. These are the things I could change. These are the things I can't. And OOC is one of those things you can change. Absolutely.
Right.
But should you be able to explain why? Is it because they never answer the phone? Is it because they told you no about, going home after 2 days of work or something? Actually be able to express why you don't think that relationship is working. And then put that aside for a minute. go to that terminal, sit down with them face to face,
Right.
and see if that opinion changes by the end of that conversation.
Look, and if you can't get in face to face, try and set up a time, a meeting on the phone, on video. I mean, there's Teams, there's Zoom, there's all these things. And look, as long as you are a professional, which we should be at all times. I mean, we've got our moments. Frustration takes over, and you got to remember to step back, breathe. Maybe the person you're talking to isn't the cause of your frustration, and if you do come out of your face sideways, I've done it. Other people, yeah, make sure that you come back and say, you know what, I know it wasn't your fault. I'm just really frustrated right now because of this or this, and I'm just trying to find a solution. So what can we do to find a solution? What can we do to make this win-win for you, my customer, Swift Transportation, or whatever company you're contracted to, or whatever broker you're running from? What can we do to make this win-win for both parties? Because the best outcome is win-win. You don't want someone to lose on this. So, I mean, just keep that in mind. You're running a business. You're not a driver. You're not just a driver. You're not just a company driver. You're not paying for a job. And if you are, we need to talk about things and help you get on the right track. Change your mindset. Swift or CRST or Prime or Schneider or any of these places, they're not your employer unless you're a company driver. If you're a contractor, they are your customer. Change your view on that. If you can keep your one customer happy, and each business will have their own way of doing that, honestly, the best way to keep my customer happy is to make sure that I'm on time. And this is a big thing, you guys. Be on time. Be early. If you're not early, you're late in my book, right? If you've got 3 days to run 800 miles and you're a solo, don't stay at home that extra day. I mean, I get sometimes you want to do that, and sometimes there's a need, but get out there and run that load. I mean, heck, maybe you can get there early and talk to somebody and be like, hey, man, I'm here a day and a half early. Any chance we get this off? You'd be surprised how many times I've gotten loads off of the truck just doing that. They're like, oh, man, hell, we can't get this load to deliver on time. And here you are a day and a half early. Let's get that off. Maybe you go run an extra load that week because you didn't have to sit there and wait that day and a half. Right.
The load I'm on right now, Charlie, I think I told you.
Right.
It was supposed to pick up yesterday, right? Yes. Yeah. What day is it? I don't know. Anyway, so it was supposed to pick up on yesterday, I think it was. I asked, when will the load actually be ready? Because it was a preloaded trailer. And just by me asking, you know what ended up happening, Charlie? And this, you're sitting down already, so you're safe.
All right. Let me hold on to the arms.
The CSR called them and say, hey, our driver's already ready to go. Is there any way you could load this early? And they did. Picked it up 12 hours earlier than scheduled.
I think my head just exploded. Did it explode on camera, or is it just internal? I think I'm having a stroke. Everything's black.
Which set me up for my T-call in West Valley with plenty of time for another driver to get it to final on time.
Right.
A little iffy if it hadn't picked up.
Communication, just like Craig said, communication is vital. And that's not just from us. And look, for those of us that are Contractor Swift, we've brought this up more times than we can count. We need communication from our customer. We cannot service our customer if they don't let us know what they need. Right? When things change, we need to know about these things ahead of time, or at least at the time they're happening, not 3 weeks later, 6 months later, a year later. Communicate, and they know that is a weakness for them. They understand that. They are working on it. When you're talking about a mega carrier, as the world calls them, things don't change quickly. Okay, be patient. But building those relationships and finding out who to talk to about things, and being able to communicate. If you find a problem with something, some sort of process in our daily lives, don't be like, oh, this is BS. I hate that I had to send this macro. And end it there. What good is that? Why not say, hey, maybe a better way to do this. Maybe we could find a workaround this, and maybe better communication on your part will allow me to communicate from my side a little bit better and let you know that, hey, there was some heavy traffic here, or this customer prefers this, because a lot of times those CSRs, they've never reached back out to these customers. I just had one recently where we had never been on time for a load for this new customer. And Rosie and I ran that load, and it was tight. It was hard. I mean, we ran 70 miles an hour, which you guys, those of you who know me, know I don't drive 70. I drive 60 miles an hour every chance I get. But we ran 70 miles an hour to meet the needs of our customer and their customer, right? And we got there on time, in fact, early by what we were told, only to find out from the customer that you're the first one that's ever made it, and this is on time, even though our dispatch said we had 3 more hours. They're like, this is on time. We need it by this time every day so that we can work that product, because we have to break it down and get it on trucks first thing in the morning at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And so I communicated that back to Swift, and hopefully they're making changes and people are aware, right? So don't just come with a problem. See if you can come up with a solution, a couple of solutions, a couple of ideas. You know what I mean? People will deal with you a whole lot better on that footing than if you just come at them, you're an asshole. Yep, I said it, but it happens. I've heard that specific statement first thing out of someone's mouth on a phone call to an OOC. Nothing before it and nothing after. You're like, and okay, maybe we could elaborate on that a little bit. Why are you so upset with me? Well, I called the CSR. Wait. I'm an OOC. I'm not the CSR. Let's get things going here. You know what I mean? And having a professional discussion is important.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to touch on something. Charlie asked my opinion on the shop at Ocala, time of getting in and out, quality of work. I can tell you the quality of work from what I've been told and from what I've personally seen seems to be a little bit better than what it was in the past. There's always room for improvement. Anyone who says there's not room for improvement is a liar, and whatever. There's always room for improvement. Right? There's no such thing as perfection, unless you're looking at my backside walking down the street. What?
That's not true.
That's absolutely not true.
Wait. Why would I even know that? Sorry.
Jeff, would you like to further elaborate on that statement? I'm just thinking. But they have gotten better. As far as scheduling, I have had terrible luck with scheduling, because they're usually, let's say I'm going to be home this coming Wednesday. I'm like, oh, well, I need a B service. And they're like, yeah, sorry, bro. We're booked up for the next 2 weeks. So scheduling is a problem. Scheduling is a problem there. And I think that could be at a lot of terminals. I did not have that problem at Phoenix. 3 days before I showed up at Phoenix, I had my OOC reach out to the Phoenix shop and set up my appointment time. There's discussion there to be had. I was set with an appointment for 6:30 in the morning, and I showed up at 6:25 in the morning and got in line. I didn't know I had to get in line, so I got in line. And then when I got into my spot in the line, they're like, yeah, so just park your truck over here and we'll get to it just as soon as we can. I'm like, wait a minute, I had a 6:30 appointment. Why aren't we doing this now? And it wasn't until 9:30 when they were trying to find the keys for my truck.
I found out. I was more mad about that than Charlie was.
Yeah. And no, it was funny. And I'm like, well, let's just chill and see what happens throughout the day. And I mean, once they started working on it, it was pretty quick. It was about 2 hours and we were done with, the service that I needed to be performed. They were timely. They let me know what was going on. The only thing that I had a problem with at the end of the service was I asked for an invoice, and there was no one there who could print me an invoice. So maybe at the termination or completion of the service, they could just automatically print that out for a contractor, have it sitting there with your keys ready to go.
They do at West Valley.
So
that what that tells me, by the way, Charlie, is that it's possible.
Right.
I think part of it might be that a lot of us don't ask for it, so they're like, they haven't been asked for it for so long they didn't think about it.
I asked for an invoice when I had that 100,000 mile service done at Ocala. I asked for an invoice and they're like, sorry, bro, we ain't got that right now. Right.
Really?
That bummed me out. And then instead of me following up on it, you should smack me for this one. I just had an RO pop up on my settlement this week, and I was like, "What is this settlement or what's this RO?" $450 for major fender repair. I found out in Memphis at the Memphis terminal. I'm like, "What? I haven't had any work done. I haven't hit anything. Nobody's hit me. Nobody's touched my truck. I haven't been to Memphis in months." So they fixed that. But then what I decided, well, since I was at home and on my computer, because you can't pull up these ROs on your dang phone for whatever reason, I pulled up the ROs for the history of my truck, and I actually went back and audited those ROs. You remember when I got that service done, Jeff? I had thought that they had done an annual inspection on my truck.
Right.
And when I started getting the message, "Hey, your annual inspection is due," and I was like, "No, I just had it done." They're like, "No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't." Do you know when I went back and looked at that RO today and looked at all 6 pages of it? It specifically states that an OO annual inspection had been performed and completed on my truck.
Oh.
Yet I had to go outside because I couldn't get an appointment now to just get an inspection done, and go to a Love's and got them. And I spent, good God, 6 hours at a Love's trying to get a DOT inspection done at, that cost and time, and took time out of my personal time. It was during my home time. I went and sat there, Rose at home, playing with the grandkids, and I'm sitting in my truck sweating my butt off in Florida, waiting to get into the shop. And they ended up getting me in earlier than they had anticipated, but I had to pay for that. Well, apparently I had already paid for that according to my RO.
Mm-hmm.
And why wasn't that in the system? So that's actually something I came across today doing an audit of ROs, and I don't know. And then I actually found another RO right after that specifically said owner operator annual inspection 0, because it was associated to the other one that they had already done on my B service. So there was 2 entries for this OO annual inspection. So I need to call and get a hold of people in the Swift shop leadership and be like, "What is this? Why did this happen? Am I reading this wrong?" Because I don't understand. I had to pay for this twice, and this cost me time.
Remember, it used to be, Charlie, that anytime you went to a Swift shop for a service,
yeah, B service. Yeah, you went in for a B service, you got it. Yeah, and I don't care if it was 2 months, because I was getting B service for a while there. Heck, almost once a month, because I was doing 20,000 mile services on Chewy, right? And I mean, you would never. They would just do it, man. It was just part of the B service built into the system. And this RO is kind of leading me to believe that it's still built into the system. And it specifically states that the OO annual inspection was completed along with the B service. It's specifically, they typed those words in there. So why did I, you know what I'm saying? I'm just. Whatever.
So since we're talking about maintenance, Charlie, what did you learn about warranty work and warranties on trucks this week?
Like, for real.
It is something I didn't know. Right.
So get this. Number 1, your warranty starts at the truck's in-service date. So if you got a brand new truck, got 10 miles on it. The manufacturer date was July of 2023. You need to find out what the in-service date was on that truck, because it's not the day you leased it. Because the in-service date is the date that starts your warranty. So when Swift puts that truck in service, now let's say your truck was built in January of 23, and they've had that OO truck sitting there waiting, and they couldn't get anybody to lease it for whatever reason, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a thing right now, but it's a possibility. It happened in the past, I know that. But they put it in service in February of 23, and you did not lease that truck until September of 23, and you're the first person to lease that truck. That warranty started in February. So your 300,000 mile or 3-year warranty, the 3-year warranty started on the in-service date, not the date you leased it.
Yep.
Okay. And here's some other stuff about this. I was just talking to someone, Mark Olinger, as a matter of fact, about his Kenworth. He's coming up on that 350,000 mark. He had a transmission issue. Took it into the KW dealer. They're working on it. And he had a really good discussion with the service guy there, who let him know that, hey man, all this stuff is covered up to 350,000 miles, basically the whole truck, for defects and things like that, and not normal wear and tear stuff, of course. But or 3 years, and that's when he found out that he actually was missing a month on his warranty because the in-service date was a month before he ever released it, and found out that if he went past that 350 mark, then everything was on him for those things. The motor has its own warranty, and I think he said it was 600,000 miles or something like that on the motor. Some other parts have different warranties, the drivetrain, things like that. So go in and learn what your actual warranty is. And here's some crazy stuff. He was talking to his guy, and like on the Kenworth, for instance, there is something that's supposed to be done on a regular basis, and I believe it was 18 bolts along in the chassis, motor, something that are supposed to be checked on a regular basis. And if those things are not checked,
and everything,
and if those things aren't checked and noted in your service history, they could void your warranty.
Yep.
Now, this service writer said he'd never seen anybody actually enforce that, but it is actually absolutely a thing. And in times right now when the market's tough, every little thing that saves another company money, they're going after. You guys have heard us talking about that.
And I was talking to one of our members the other day about the MRP stuff. He had done a repair himself. I'm like, be careful with that on that MRP, And it got into this, and how it ended up was he says, so could they just take my truck away then? I said, well, technically, yeah, because on that MRP is all maintenance has to be done at an approved shop by a mechanic. And I think it was the blower motor in the rear for the rear HVAC.
Right.
And he's like, but Swift gave me the part and Juice deducted it off my MRP and everything. I'm like, well, here's the thing though. If it's possible, I have to consider it, right? If it's possible that me saving that labor on an MRP truck could, probably not, but could get me in trouble down the line,
right?
I got to consider that before I do that work. And there's a lot of things like that, Charlie, where, I've never heard of them enforcing that. Well, I'm that guy.
Right.
I'm the guy that they finally say, hey, I heard you changed that air filter on that 2019. Give us our truck back.
Right. So here's another thing. So on my 100,000 mile B service, since I was going through the RO, I remember them asking me, so do you want us to change the air filter? I'm like, well, not if the restriction gauge doesn't indicate that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet, whatever the cost was, $100 later, I found out that the air filter had been changed. I just found that out today because I went back and looked at that invoice, the RO on it, right? And that's completely my bad. I can't go back and fight it. I'm not going to fight those things. I am going to address this annual inspection thing because Bear Hunter says he has an answer to something. So what's your answer, bro? And what question are you answering? Good Lord. Call in, man, or something, because you type like...
You got 10 minutes, Bear Hunter.
Right? You better make it quick, bro. But, and so, I mean, that's on me for not going and checking that and not really pushing the fact that I need this invoice, right? Because I would have been like, hey, wait a minute. It's right here, bro. What do you mean I don't have an inspection done? So whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. So go back and audit some of your own repair orders and work orders and things like that. Make sure that, what you're being charged for is what you asked for, what you needed, and that it was actually done, and that you're not being charged for things. They replaced the windshield wipers on my truck. I didn't ask anybody to replace windshield wipers. I could go buy windshield wipers myself when I need them, right? But that was the thing. It was done. Great price for, their mediocre windshield wipers. It was like $2. But I got charged labor to install windshield wipers. Come on, man. I'll climb up there and change my own damn windshield wipers. Even cripple old me can do that. Come on. Now, Rosie, I don't know. It'd be fun to watch Rosie do it. I'm just going to say, because watching her with a little T-Mex arms and her tiny legs trying to climb up in there is hilarious. You guys don't even understand. But yeah, I mean, so go back and audit these things. It's right there in the settlement, or not in the settlement, but rather on the portal. And if by any chance that new dude, sorry, I can't remember your name off the top of my head right now, that we were talking about. No, it was another one that I put in the group today. He's not in the chat right now, but if he happens to be watching this on replay or something like that, I can't think of his name, and I apologize for that. But if he was unaware of the points associated to camera events. He's like, what are these points you're even talking about? My OC didn't mention anything about points or anything like that. And I'm like, oh no, you know what I mean? Andrew Burke, Zach Peterson. I don't know. No, I feel like that's not right. I can't think of who it is. I'm gonna look real fast because now. Oh, Tim Saburn. Go back. I know I was going through the member list and it didn't pop up right. Tim Saburn, if you're watching this, if you go on the owner operator portal, you can go down into on the left side little menu deal there and go down to, is it resources? I'm going to find it. Hang on. Nope. Dashboard. Nope. Good Lord. Now I got too many things open. Oh, my apps. That's where it is. And all the way down at the very bottom. So my apps is the last one on the menu. And all the way down underneath the my app section, there's a smart drive section. Well, those points are being accumulated there, and you should be able to view and see the points and things like that. So, if you don't know how to get to it, you should definitely, figure out how to get to it. Ask somebody. And you need to be able to review those, because if those points get too high, your contract is absolutely in jeopardy. Even though you own your own truck, sure, you can take your truck wherever you want, but you won't be pulling Swift freight.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a thing. And it's very expensive to switch carriers. The average person loses somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 in the process of switching from one carrier to another. And that's if they plan for it in lost revenue for that year because of the learning curve and everything else. So, be aware. All right, Bear Hunter, I got you. I'm bringing you in. You there, brother?
I am.
All right. So what's the answer, and what was the question?
The answer is about the annual inspection.
Okay, cool.
I had the same question. Same thing popped up with me. Same situation. And the shop says that every service they do, they check all of the annual inspection items, but they don't flag it as an annual inspection unless the truck is due right then.
Well, then why the hell aren't they? Why are they billing me?
Why even doing it?
Right? That's a problem.
That was my question too. Absolutely.
That's something that needs.
Why are you going to do it and not put it in the system as being done just to cost me more money? And they didn't have an answer.
So I wonder if you know that, and the next time your annual inspection comes up, if you could just tell Rapid, hey, look, it was done. Look at the RO.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They ended up just putting it in the system, because they'd just done it a week before and did it for me. But
yeah,
that was me pushing. Look.
So I should have pushed harder is what you're telling me, because I'm like, well, okay, fine. They're like, no, we didn't do it. I'm like, yeah, you did. And they're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yeah, you did. Like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
So I went and got it done because I was on.
It was just to the point where I was about to say, I'm just going to take it over to Iron Horse. They're just right 50 feet across the parking lot. Let me take it over there.
Iron Maintenance.
Maintenance.
I like those guys.
Iron Horse Motorcycle Shop.
Yeah, and I was getting put on safety hold like the next day if I didn't get it done. So I didn't have time to screw around. And you know what I mean? I was like, whatever. I need to work the next day. So, I mean, what is it? $50 or whatever.
Stupid banks wanting their money.
Right? God. Yeah, so I mean, it was a thing. So maybe Jeff and I can dip in and talk to some shop people about that, and maybe we can find a better way around that. It's good to know that I'm not the only one. And now that you've shared some information, I think maybe I can go into that conversation a little better prepared.
A little more bullets.
Right. So yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate you, Sean. That's good looking out, brother. By anyone who doesn't know, that's Bear Hunter. Bear Hunter's on the phone there.
No.
Or as
No,
we
not
like to
Bear
call him, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Right. All the magical trucks and
Sometimes.
boats and things and whatever. It's a good thing
We're
I
not
like your wife
jealous.
more than you.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging. Yeah, I am. Not really.
We ain't
Kinda,
jealous.
sorta. Not really. Sometimes. Not all the time.
Casino.
Right?
No more
Oh
casino.
no.
Let if I got a T680, almost 500,000 miles. What oil you recommend, and how often do I do oil change?
So
Do it, Jeff. Say the
I
word.
would say that it's in your contract.
Yes, sir.
I use
So
Lucas.
okay. So if you've got a 500,000 mile T680 and you just started again with Swift, right? So that's an MRP lease. Your equipment lease tells you exactly when you need to do your services and what to do, and do that.
Go by the contract, because you're going to be held to that.
It'll be the oil that Swift has in their shop, which I believe is a synthetic blend right now.
It is. Yeah,
That mobile, the mobile, what was it? I mean, I've got a bottle of it back here somewhere.
Could be Dello. I don't even know what they're using right now.
Right, the Dello, the silver bottle of Dello is what I had put in my truck at Iron. And if you go to Iron, by the way, guys, they'll give you a choice of 2 different grades of oil. So just choose the one you want. When you're still in a lease, you can't do all the fancy oil sampling and stuff like I do, especially on that MRP. Just they're going to put what oil in it that they use at Swift. And I think it's on a Kenworth. I was just talking to Juice. You might want to talk to Juice, by the way, Charlie, about your truck, because no, it wasn't Juice. It was the dude that was doing the pre-trip contest, the tech out there.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He was saying that the Cummins was at a 50,000 and the Detroit was up to a 70 now. Was the recommendation?
So
on the brand new ones. So
hey, Sean, I'm looking at my B service that I had done in Phoenix while we were there for Fleet Week, and it specifically does not have that magical line, annual inspection. But my 100,000 mile one did, and I hadn't been out of it a year. You know what I mean? It's not on my most recent B service.
Yep.
It doesn't tell me what oil they used. Oh wait, yes it does. Dello, 400 XLE synthetic blend 10W30 bulk.
Yep.
So they're using Dello, and they're using Dello grease apparently. Starflex EP2.
So Ladeef, if you look at your equipment contract, and that's not your main contract, that's your equipment contract with IEL, there's a table in there, and it tells you exactly at what mileage you need to do what.
Right.
And as long as you keep up with that, all of your warranty and stuff that you got with that truck will stay intact.
Right. So with that being said, you guys, we hate to do it, but we're coming right up on our 2-hour mark, and we need to wrap this thing at 2 hours. So because of us trying to be adults and maintain schedules and things like that, while we do appreciate you guys being here, I'm still not sure what Donna was trying to get me to show on screen. I'm just saying you might want to talk to your wife, Jeff. I love you, Donna.
It was when you were doing the pulling up the RO thing.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
we're at the 2-hour mark though, so we can do that another show.
Right. So you guys, like always, Jeff, you got anything you want to throw out real quick?
Nope, I'm good, man.
So with that being said, I'm pretty much done. But we do want to thank you guys for tuning in every week. Those of you who are watching on the replay, make sure you're commenting below. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you made it to the end. Yep. If you made it this far, you're a trooper. I'm just saying, and we appreciate it. You know, hit those thumbs up, folks. That really helps us with the algorithms and all that stuff, and helps us reach more people. We do appreciate you taking time out of your day.
And make sure you go to the YouTube channel and check out the interview with Adam and Jim.
Yeah,
and
for
hey,
real.
You know, that's another one. If you've got questions for those two guys that come up while you're watching that, put them in the comments.
Exactly. We can get those questions to them,
and we'll forward that to them. That whatever questions you have based on their interview. Because they say some stuff that we could have definitely delved more into if we had more time.
Right.
You know, very knowledgeable people.
That's a direct link to the video on YouTube. I know it's some weird stuff, but you could capture it or just go to at Contractors Corner Consulting on the YouTubes, and you'll find us there. And that will be the top video on our regular videos list. It's a recorded video, so it's there.
And if nothing else, for me, if you could do this, you watch that video and you say, thanks, Donna, for all the work you did on this.
Right. Seriously. She did a lot of work on this, and we just kept having to make more revisions and more revisions.
Yeah.
And like that.
Charley and I were out trying to drive, and she's like, I'm trying to get this thing done and this isn't going right. And we're like, but we're driving.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's like a thing. So you know what? I'm gonna I know we're running long. I'm gonna do it anyhow, Jeff.
Okay.
Because Donna's right. I should do this real quick. I'm gonna show you how to find that smart drive thing, because I think that's an important one that people need to pay attention to. So let's go over there to the magic portal. Let me hit that button there and add it to the screen. In fact, I'm gonna make it large, as big as I can. You can see my ROs there that I was talking about, because that's the screen I'm on. But if you want to see your smart drives camera stuff, go right here. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Go right here to my apps on the left side. If you're on a computer or something like that, do that. Scroll down to smart drive, hit yes, continue. And unfortunately, I don't have a smart drive, so it's going to come up with, hey, you ain't got nothing, buddy. Let's see.
All right, but if you do have a smart drive camera, it'll populate with any dings you might have.
Right. Oh, it didn't. So, it's funny because when I clicked on that, it went to a second screen. So it didn't show on your guys' screen. So I apologize. But anyhow, right there in that page, right here, smart drive at the bottom of the menu list, you'll find that smart drive link. Go there, check it out. If you guys got any more questions, by all means, throw them down there in the bottom. I'm pointing and you can't see me because this other screen is up. Look, go down there and leave comments, hit us the thumbs. We will see you here next week, like every week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We thank you guys for your time. Seriously, it does mean a great deal to us. Thank you so much, and we will see you then. I'm gonna run another commercial. It's a different one. Check it out. Let us know what you think. You know what? Leave me a comment. What do you think of the ES commercials that we were put in? I think they're pretty groovy. You guys be safe.
Now, here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
So we started looking for a way to save money on fuel. And we were turned on to the ES Advantage program for fuel first. And so we got a hold of Jeff Reese, and he ran us through that program. And man, we were starting to save. And then we started talking to them. Well, we saw their website, and we said, Jeff, what's this thing about insurance and accounting and
right.
You lease trucks? What?
Right. And that's the thing, is we only knew it as a fuel card. And when we started digging deeper, I mean, we ended up getting hooked up with an insurance provider, Seabright Agency, and they created an entire insurance program just for us and our people. And from that, we've learned that now there's even more potential. There's a greater opportunity, and it's completely opened up our eyes and broadened our vision into what it is we're trying to do, which is help people do better. Wrapped with the ES community just makes that process so much easier.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.